Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're talking about Companion, directed by Drew Hancock, starring Sophie Thatcher as Iris and Jack Quaid as Josh. So without spoiling too much, we're going to give you guys our review, and then we're going to lead into spoilers so you can tune out when you can, come back to the video when you actually watch the movie, and drop some comments, see if you liked it. Let us know if you liked it. So let's get right into it.
Just get into it.
Area of entertainment.
So how did you like the movie?
I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. Like, it was like kind of like a good twist. Like, and it's like, whoa, like, you know, what's going on?
This is one of those movies where you have to go in blind.
Yeah.
So I'd say don't watch any trailers. Don't watch any
that's,
spoilers.
I think that's like another thing that kind of like puts down my rating is that like, hey, like if you really don't know this movie, of course you're gonna watch the trailer to kind of figure out like, like, oh, like this trailer and stuff. Like, let me go see the trailer first, and then because that's what people normally go see first. Is like, oh, the trailer
to see if they want to watch it.
See if they want to watch it, and then the trailer kind of like does give it away.
It does give it away.
So that's why like my rating is kind of like kind of goes down a little bit, but still though overall though, like even like me knowing already like what the whole thing is, still there was a lot of twists, a lot of things that were going on.
Yeah, a lot of unexpected things.
And it's just like, it's a pretty good story, like, well rounded.
So yeah, talking about the trailer does give a lot of the stuff away. I would suggest not to watch the trailer, just go into the movie blind, because if you do, you'll actually be very pleased on what you see.
Pleased.
So if you are a fan of, I'd say, science fiction movies or any android/robotic movies, this is a perfect movie for you. It is a perfect movie if you did like Ex Machina. So if you haven't watched Ex Machina or you do like Ex Machina, this is a perfect watch for you because I enjoyed it. It's in the same vein of that. This one's actually a little more comedy, I'd say. They throw more jokes in it than Ex Machina. But overall, yeah, it was a good movie. I mean, my review, but actually, my score on it, I'm gonna say it's a 7.5. You know what? Let me give it a 7.5 because it did shock me, and I did like that the direction it went with the movie, and yeah, all of just going in blind. Don't care what everybody says. Just go watch it. Go watch the movie. 7.5. My review. What about you?
My review, my review on it, I would say like it's a 6 because like
a 6.
Well, 6 is still
That's
good.
low, man.
No, it's like I said, like
so like 6 is good on our scale.
Yeah,
I say 6 is a good.
Like it's like
it's
this.
a good watch. I say it's a good watch.
It's like this. Like 5 is like right in the middle. It's not good. It's not bad. And then when you get to 4 and then all that, it gets kind of like downhill. 6 I think is good. Because realistically, like, if I didn't see the trailer, then it would probably have been a 7. But because I saw the trailer and I knew what was going on, it wasn't like the first twist wasn't, like, as crazy. Right. So it's like,
Yeah, so...
But, yeah, I give it a 6. It's still a good rating. Like, it's still, like, a good watch. So it's
he gave it a 6. I gave it a 7.5. Yeah. We'll just break it even at 7. That's the AOE number.
Yeah.
So AOE reviews this, and we rank it at 7 on the AOE scale. So from there, I think we're going to go into spoilers. We're going to kind of explain the movie a little bit and go through the plot because there was some things that you kind of could miss and get confused on.
And also you could tell throughout so far we haven't been really giving away because there's a lot of spoilers. There's a lot of spoilers. But anyways, right now,
we're going into spoilers.
You could leave, go watch the movie. Like we said, watch it with no one telling you what it is at all. And then come back here,
And come back, yeah. Drop a comment if you like the movie, if you did like it. So we'll see you when you get back. All right. So we're going into spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Bing.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning. Thank you for staying with the video.
And also, how was the movie? Anyways, we're gonna get into spoiler review.
So spoilers going into it. So the movie's called Companion. And companion in this movie is a robot companion or android companion.
It's a sex doll.
It's a sex doll, yeah. So Iris is his sex doll.
So Iris is a robot, guys. Yeah. Shocker. Iris is a robot.
She's a subservient robot sex doll companion.
And I would say this, the way how they filmed it, where it's where it's like in the beginning all the way towards the reveal of her a robot, you really don't really know that she's a robot. Of course there's little hints to it, like
when she was saying the weather.
Yeah, the weather and like, you know, certain little things. But when that twist comes, it's like, yo, like it's crazy because like
the way they filmed it because she seems robotic, but it's also like her boyfriend / owner is also like an asshole like to her. So you're like thinking like, damn, this guy's her boyfriend and he's being an asshole to her. Like, why?
And also, it's kind of like it just makes like the way how they filmed it. They just made her look like feel like a human because humans like sometimes or like people sometimes like just do that stuff where it's like, oh yeah, the weather is
real.
this.
Yeah, it seems
like
real.
The weather is this, or like, you know, oh, why didn't she like me like this, like all that. But yeah, so the whole thing is Josh, right?
Yeah, his name is Josh.
So Josh is taking Iris to this weekend getaway trip where with his friends, and they're going far, far away to like this remote cabin where there's no civilization, no nothing, and they're going to this rich guy's place because
his lake house.
Yeah, his lake house because Josh's friends or like Josh's friend, she's dating him. So it's like there's kind of like a little party going on there. But that's kind of like that's what the start of the movie is.
So that's the start of the movie. So then the plot thickens, you know. Iris is her boyfriend, the rich guy, the owner of the place, starts to hit on Iris.
He's a Russian.
And he's Russian, but he starts hitting on Iris and she doesn't like it. So and then we find out that she actually killed him in self-defense because he was trying to do stuff to her, but we all know that robots aren't supposed to hurt people. So now we're like, hold on, what's happening here? So then we find out that Josh actually put a mod in Iris's processing or her coding pretty much so that way she can be more aggressive. And then you find out that this was all his plan to kill the guy so that way they could steal his money.
Yeah, I think it's like there's like 2 million.
It's like a couple million because they were gonna split it between the three of them. Yeah. So the three friends were gonna. Split it.
And the other people in there are like.
Well, actually, I don't think the guy was involved. Like he didn't know.
Oh yeah, he did.
It was just Josh and the other girl. Yeah, the other female.
Yeah, so human. So technically, there's 3 other people that are there. We got Patrick,
Kat, and then Eli.
And Eli. So
and then Sergey was the boyfriend that Iris killed.
So Eli was like the fat one.
Yeah.
And that was like, you know, his boy. And then Kat was, you know, like the girl. And then Patrick was the boyfriend of Eli and stuff.
So we find out that Patrick is also a companion.
He's a robot. Which that twist, like, really, like, dang, like, that's actually.
Yeah, because they look human. They act human. They look human. But like you just don't know who's among who's a robot.
Like the first time, like, I saw, I was like, yo, like, that was like crazy because it was just like.
It was out of nowhere.
It was just out of like,
it was one of the shocks.
Because like it's like this dude like was just like talking like a human, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, and they're talking about like splitting the money and. Josh says, you know, why would I give Patrick any?
Yeah, like,
and then we're like, oh, damn, he's being shady. But then you find out, like, oh, he knows he's a robot. Yeah. So it's like, and then he really didn't want to give him money because he's just an object. He's like a phone. Yeah. To these guys.
So but then but back to when Iris killed Sergey, they tied her up. Josh told her, hey, you're you're a robot. I like, you know, blah blah. Like I bought you this. You know,
I control you.
Yeah, I control you. Basically, he was just telling this robot everything about it. Then she was just not believing it because she's like she's
programmed not to.
She's programmed not to. But then that's when she gets away, steals his phone, and then she's just on the run. And basically now we have Josh, his friends, and or Patrick. They're now on the run from. I mean, not on the run, but they're chasing after her, Iris, and they're trying to kill her, or not. I don't think kill her.
No,
but
they're trying to capture her so that way they can erase the mod. Because what Josh and them planned was that they were gonna frame Iris for the killing, and they were gonna call it a bug in her programming. But what he's gonna do is try and reset her programming that way. They can believe that it was Rogue, and which. In turn, that could have been a good idea, but then boom, she escapes and then she runs with the phone.
Well, realistically, it's Patrick's fault because he wanted to say goodbye to her. You know, like
Patrick.
Or no, he wanted to say Josh.
Yeah.
Josh. He just wanted to say goodbye to her,
and he told her that he was gonna turn her off.
Yeah, and he
so that's pretty much
basically,
saying, like, I'm gonna kill you.
So basically, he was just like. Like, he was just, like, basically telling her plan. He was doing some dumb stuff, and that's why she got away.
Yeah, she got away. Yeah.
And then we just had this whole, like, thing
this
where,
whole
like,
cat and mouse where, like, now we're chasing after Iris, and Josh is trying to figure out how to find her. So he recruits the other three, saying, "Hey, if we don't get her, then she's gonna tell everybody, and we lose the money, and we go to jail." So now it's a cat and mouse game on trying to hunt down Iris.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, pretty much she's going through the phone and she's finding all the settings for her programming.
Which I think is a cool scene.
It was cool because
where,
she's
like,
my smartness.
Yeah, so the scene that really like was cool was she was changing her eye color and how like her eyes went to blue, then green, then purple, then that was cool.
And then she did the voice changer, which I was like, they're gonna use that later. And then when she got to the car, she was like, "Hold on, I can get into the car." And then drive home.
Oh,
so then she goes to the car.
Yeah,
and then and it's voice locked.
Yeah, but like, another cool scene though, like before that, was when she increased her intelligence, and then she was thinking about every outcome. She was like, "Oh, should I run on foot?" And then she said, "Oh, it take days, and even if I like make it, first. He'll be there first. Yep. If I hitchhike on the road, nobody would pick me up because I'm covered in blood." So that I think that was cool because that kind of like, oh, like she's if you are intelligent, you would think about every single outcome and stuff. But of course, she thinks, oh, let me just go to the car, and then the car will just take me home. And then that's what she does. And then she gets locked in because it's voice activated by
Josh's
him.
Car,
and then that's when
she mods her voice to sound just like him.
Exactly.
So it's a pretty intense scene because he's trying to break into the car, and she's trying to play with the settings to get the voice actually right. So then she doesn't escape, but she leaves in the car. Josh remotes in and says, "Hey, my car is stolen." So then they shut off the car, which is like, that's the future. Like your car is gonna be able to be shut down by just a freaking signal. So they shut down the car, and then the cop comes and asks for help.
And she changes her voice to German because another rule for a companion is that they can't lie.
So robots can't lie. And
if she was talking in English, she would have told the police officer, "Oh, I killed this guy because I'm running from this guy." Like, basically, she would have just told, like, "Oh, shit, she just killed somebody." So she turned her voice to German. And that was a funny scene because, like, it just is like, oh, shit. Like, the cop doesn't even understand, but he's like, "My name is Hendrik."
He's believing that he's a real person.
But while all this kind of went down, so now we're in this like this kind of like thing. But let's kind of backtrack where when they're looking around, we see Patrick and Eli. Patrick and Eli, they're talking and stuff, and Eli's like, "Oh, like I can't believe I'm doing this, like all this blah blah." And then Patrick literally tells Eli like, "Oh, like I know I'm a robot."
Yeah. So
and then they basically just have like a moment where it's just like, damn, like, even if Patrick knows that he's a robot, he still loves Eli. And then Eli says the same thing, like, "Oh, I still love you." And then, of course, Iris is listening to the whole thing. So that's when she finds out that, oh, the whole time that she's here is that for the money and all that stuff.
She knows the plan.
Yeah, and then it just kept going where, they're chasing now. So then Eli sees her, shoots her. Doesn't shoot her, but he shoots at her. And then he's chasing her. And that's when there's a whole thing happening. That's when Eli tackles her down the hill. And then they're fighting over the gun, and then boom. So Eli got shot, and
so Eli dies, and then Patrick's upset, holding him and stuff like that.
He's not even talking. He's not even talking.
So Josh is like an asshole because he's like, "I don't give a fuck. Like, now you're my companion, so now I need you to go hunt down this girl.
Yeah,
because I need her to get back here."
And he resets Patrick's mode, or like if he
resets the program,
and then
reattaches.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And then that's when he mods Patrick, and then he's like,
put his aggression up.
And then go get her. So
then it's crazy because when he puts his aggression up, you're like, okay, cool, they're gonna be more aggressive, but like you find out later that when Josh says, "Patrick, stop her," from the other girl leaving in the house, the way he stops her is not by grabbing her, he just stabs her.
Yeah.
Because he's just 100% aggressive. He doesn't understand that that's a little too excessive for what he meant. So it's like,
that just shows like
it's a snowball effect because like the whole movie is like, boom, let's go get Iris, and then it's like snowballing, boom, his boy die. Boom, his girl die, or his other friend dies, and then it's like snowballing, and it's just getting worse for him to the point where it's like, bro, like you're the villain in this movie, like everybody's cheering for the robots, it's for her to get free from you, and to actually get away.
Which is also a good twist because, like, you know, we got movies like Terminator.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of like, oh, like, nah, like, get away from the, like, robot. But it's like, you know, it's the robot. So it's kind of like, you know, a cool little, like, kind of change to it.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not like, you know, the first time this happened. But still, it's a good, like, thing to happen. But, yeah, but back to where Iris is with the cop. Patrick kind of, you know, kills the cop. Gets Iris back there, and that's when and also a little like kind of like plot thing is that like Kate she wants to get out of here because she's like, oh, a cop's dead, everything's going to shit, I'm out of here. But then that's when she tells Josh, hey, Sergey wasn't even in the mafia.
Oh, right. So they were trying to, so the humans were pretty much saying like, listen, we're killing Sergey because he was a mafia boss. Like, he earned all this money with bad money, you know. But then come to find out that he was legit. Like he was just a good guy. He just cheated on his wife.
Yeah, he was just a bad boyfriend. But at the end of the day, like he wasn't doing nothing. But that's when it goes back to that where when Josh said Patrick stop her, he stabs her, and that's how Kate dies. Yeah. And then I feel like this scene now is like kind of like the climax.
Yeah. So then this is like the third act of the movie. So
where I think like this scene's pretty cool. Where like it's like the dinner table scene. Right. And
we keep seeing hints of the corkscrew.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Throughout the whole movie, you see the corkscrew, and you know, like they're gonna use it somehow.
It's like a machine. It's like a
automatic.
It's like an automatic corkscrew that like you put it on top of the thing, and then like it goes in, and then like that.
And it pops it out. Yeah.
But we'll save that for later.
Yeah.
And then and then
the dinner scene, and he's like telling her like, listen, you're a robot. You don't feel pain. You don't know nothing about being human and stuff. So he puts her hand in front of the light.
By the way, great acting by the girl who played Iris,
Sophie
and also
Thatcher.
Great acting for Josh too, because like
Sophie Thatcher's been pretty good. She's been in Heretic. That's a good movie you should watch. She was in another. She's in the Yellow Jackets TV show. Yeah. So she's been on it.
So far it's pretty good.
So yeah, so wrapping up, you know, we're at the end of the climax. So, you know, he calls the company to come pick her up, saying, "Hey, she killed somebody.
like
come pick up this robot." Stuff. You know,
and then
they come.
Well, at first, he puts Iris's intelligence all the way down to 0, and then of course, like she burns her hands, basically showing, "Oh, you can't feel pain." And that's when it's time to end it. And then he makes Iris shoot herself, which you know it goes through, and then she's done. And that's when the people come. And then
they pretty much tell them like, hey, we're gonna recover all her data because it's stored in her chest.
Yeah, it's not in here; it's in her chest, which I think like, you know.
So then he's like, shit, like
he's like
he had a like The Boys moment. The actor Patrick, he's from The Boys, or Josh, he's from The Boys. So he had a Boys moment. He's like, shit, I fucked up. So then now he sends Patrick. They'll get the body so that way he can destroy the chest.
And then he kills. One dude, and then he was about to kill the other dude, but then Iris kind of already rebooted inside of the truck, and she stopped Patrick, and he was like, "Hey, like you don't love Josh. He's using you like he's using me.
Right?
You love Eli." And that's when Patrick remembers, which I think is like a big moment in a sense of like, dang, like this robot is like this robot is technically like he's sentient now, like he's like remembering,
or you know he could have had the data still there,
or that
you
too.
know what I mean, like hidden data somewhere, like
and
cached.
And then he kills himself.
He kills himself, and then and then Iris asks the guy who's one of the workers for the company, saying, "Hey, I saved your life. You owe me now."
Yeah.
So then he pretty much unlocks her.
Yeah, he
gives her like full access without being controlled with the computer, without being controlled on the phone.
And now it's the
now
big showdown.
Technically sentient.
Yeah, it's the big showdown now between Josh and Iris. And then it was a whole thing where like Josh is kind of like, I think like that moment where Josh found out he couldn't control her, he like shit himself.
Yeah, because
he shit himself. He was like,
he's like, damn, I lost control of this whole robot, and now I'm gonna have to fight a robot.
Yeah.
So they're fighting, which is weird because when you think of robots, you think they're gonna be super strong, or they're gonna be like super skilled at fighting.
Yeah, and I think like
this
it's
is
just
like she's more like a doll where like he's throwing her around, he's overpowering her. But she's still smarter than him.
Yeah, but also like the main thing too is that like he was just saying like, oh, like you can't hurt me because you love me.
Right.
Like I am you. Like you know everything about me, which means that like I like you know, you just like you know I'm in you. Like you are with me.
You,
like then that scene is like I think that's cool because it's like oh like you know
it's like a real relationship. Like there's something
it's
there.
Literally just like boyfriend girlfriend where it's like oh like you know I can't hurt you because I love you too much, but you can't hurt but then of course like you said she's smart enough to know
that he's lying.
And then after when like he points a gun at her like CPU and about to kill her, bam, Ryan like the temple
out.
Yeah,
he takes the corkscrew out, and then like the machine eventually kills him.
Yeah.
So it's like one of the things where it's like not the most advanced machine killed him, but the most simplest machine killed him.
Yeah, I think that's like the coolest part.
It was one of those things where it's like it's screwing in his head, and then it just popped this piece of his brain out. So that was a cool ending because they hinted to that weapon throughout. Yeah. They sprinkled it in throughout the whole movie, like keep an eye on
and
this.
Then she monologues throughout the whole ending. She takes a shower. She rips off her hand, sees her robot arm.
She had like a Terminator moment.
Yeah, like a Terminator moment. I thought the same thing.
And it was cool because she kept it off. Yeah. So it's like she's accepting that she's a robot. And like later on, you see her driving in a car and she's waving to another robot with her robot hand. Yeah. And like you can tell like other robots don't know that they're robots. So it's like when another robot sees a robot hand, they're like, hold on, they're confused, and then they start to think differently. Yeah. So it was that was the way it ended. Her waving to the other robot in a car, driving away. Happy ending. She survived and she escaped.
And then she said like, her monologue's pretty cool. It kind of talks about how like, in life there's like experiences that you have that change your life. She said her biggest experiences were 2. It was when she met Josh and when she killed him, which I think was pretty cool.
It set her free, killing him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty much the overview, a recap of Companion. I mean, definitely watch the movie so you can get the full details, all the little stuff we missed through our recap. And yeah, so thank you for tuning in to AOE. I'm Ray, this is Dario, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
All right, cool. You stopped recording?
Yeah.
All right. Dario, off.